You will not replace us. You will not replace us. You will not replace us. You will not replace us.
From the Unite the Right rally to the Capitol riot, extremists have exploited online platforms for radicalization. Although the vast majority of gamers and gaming communities are harmless, extremists have exploited in-game chats, live streams, marketplaces, and forums to further push their own ideological agendas. The gaming industry is worth $500 billion USD and is one of the largest global entertainment sectors. The number of gamers has reached approximately 3.32 billion worldwide, having increased by 1 billion over the past 9 years. This growth reflects not only the expansion of online games and communities, but also the rise of adjacent communication platforms created specifically for gamers, such as Steam, Discord, and DLive. The expansion of online communities has also influenced how malicious actors have exploited them. The advent of technology was one of many global events that contributed to extremists using online platforms for radicalization. The COVID-19 pandemic also increased the risk of young people to online radicalization. Children spent more time being exposed to online spaces due to the lack of parental control during lockdowns and social distancing. Extremists exploited the anonymity in these platforms to spread propaganda targeted at minors. To understand how these risks appear, we need to define the concepts of extremism, terrorism, and radicalization. Extremism is a support of beliefs that are not accepted by society. Extremists perceive an outgroup as a threat to their goals and believe that violence must be used for the success of the in-group. Terrorism is the use of violence by individuals or groups to instill fear and advance political or religious objectives. And radicalization is when someone adopts extremist beliefs that motivate them to support or commit acts of violence. Before we understand how extremists use video games and online platforms, we must consider the question, why do extremists use online games and platforms for radicalization in the first place? The target demographic for some extremist groups, adolescent boys, enjoy playing video games. So many terrorist groups have used funding to create video games in hopes of radicalizing young men. Because violence is added to video games to create the illusion of the thrill of battle, extremists can easily recruit new members by using gamification to make their acts feel noble and like a video game. Even though most video games do not necessarily contain extremist themes, extremists can play them in a way that supports their ideology. Many jihadist groups created their own video games to attract youth to their movement. These games often placed players in the role of a combatant or assigned missions to hunt down characters that looked like political targets. This was especially prominent in the early 2000s. Hezbollah created Special Force, in which the player was a soldier fighting against the Israel Defense Forces. Similarly, Al-Qaeda modified the game Quest for Saddam into Quest for Bush, where players were tasked with killing American soldiers and United States President George W. Bush. Recently, jihadists have exploited platforms like Roblox, using its sandbox mode to create games with Daesh-inspired training camps and battles. Extremist radicalization through video games has happened before. In March 2023, 2 Singaporean minors were arrested for planning to commit acts of terrorism in public spaces, including knife attacks, beheadings, and suicide bombings. The teens, aged 15 and 16, were both self-radicalized online. The older of the two began playing IS-themed games that simulated battles in the Philippines and other IS-controlled areas of Syria on Roblox when he was 14. He considered himself a member of IS within the game, mimicked real-life positions, and even produced 3 propaganda videos with his gameplay and IS propaganda. Several popular online gaming platforms have been used by extremists, specifically right-wing extremists. Today, we will discuss how extremists use Steam, Discord, and DLive. Steam. Steam is the largest PC gaming hub that allows users to purchase, sell, and discuss video games. It enables users to develop communities where they can join groups, participate in forums, and communicate through messaging and voice chat. Steam is used by many right-wing extremists to communicate with each other, whether via in-game chat or online community boards. Steam is home to a large variety of right-wing groups, ranging from non-violent communities to communities that promote violent and fascist ideologies. Some users even openly show support for right-wing violence in their usernames, descriptions, profile pictures, and comments, which contain images of Nazi symbols. The sole purpose of some of Steam's community groups was to host an extremist group. Researchers have found that 45 Steam groups contain right-wing extremist themes, with an average of 329 members per group. The largest extremist group that uses Steam is the Nordic Resistance Movement, a neo-Nazi extremist group in Nordic countries, which uses Steam's community feature solely as a social hub to communicate with group members. Discord. Discord was created to allow gamers to discuss games and organize parties for multiplayer games via text, voice, or video chat. Discord's chat rooms are self-moderated by default, so users can share content without any filter. Users usually host normal conversations about gaming, slang, and memes. However, they also casually discuss extremist topics. Because of the poor moderation, right-wing extremists can post propaganda on Discord servers without repercussions. Discord has been used to plan for the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, which helped many right-wing extremists convene offline. DLive. DLive is a lesser-known streaming platform that has a lack of moderation. It is used by many right-wing extremists who have been banned by other streaming platforms and contains racist, sexist, homophobic, and conspiracy theory-related content. Statistically, only 3% of extremists on DLive actually stream games while promoting their ideology. However, in January 2021, many streamers on DLive live-streamed themselves storming the US Capitol.
Yoba, we're getting baked in Yoba. USA! 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 Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump!
Online platforms can minimize extremist radicalization by moderating content more effectively. This means that the content in search bars, text chats, and voice chats should be filtered better. Currently, many large game corporations have resources dedicated to protecting their products from exploitation by extremists. However, in the past, these resources have proved insufficient to catch the hundreds of thousands of extremists online. To inevitably solve the issue of online radicalization once and for all, researchers must analyze the broader ecosystem of online spaces in specific platforms, since many people other than extremists use the internet. Ultimately, the rate at which we progress towards online safety is highly dependent on how much companies are willing to provide researchers with data access to assess current prevention strategies and improve them. Still, the responsibility also falls on everyday users. Help prevent radicalization by staying aware of how extremists operate, like watching this video. Recognizing signs of radicalization and reporting harmful content are small actions that you can take to make online platforms safer for everyone.